As God weaves His church together, He draws us into fellowship with Himself and with each other. Through that fellowship, we share much of our lives and faith journeys, similar to a family would. Actually, we are God's family. Together we laugh, we cry, we remember the good old days, and most importantly, we strengthen and encourage each other as we gather together to hear, study, and discuss God's holy scriptures.
Well, we just moved back down here from Harford County, back into Anne Arundel County, and we were looking for a church. At one time, this was an American Lutheran church, and then they switched over to Missouri Synod, because she and I were always Missouri Synod Lutherans. So we thought we'd give it a try, and they were so friendly when we came here. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And the pastor Simmons was here at the time. The first time we came to Galilee, that very next Monday or Tuesday, he was at our house, knocking on the door, hi, have you visited with us? I'm visiting with you. His car wouldn't start when he went out. So it is a funny little story. So we went out and we were helping to push the car to get it started, and the gentleman across the street came over. So he finally got it started. Well, eventually he bought a new car not long after that, and I said something to Mary. I said, well, at least his car won't, need to push anymore. She said, well, that depends on whether he turns the lights off. And I said, well, they have beeps in the car that when you leave the lights on. He says, yeah, but you got to hear that. And it was funny, because he did have a hearing problem. It was comical. This is the first church that I came to, and out of all the churches we've gone to, that really instilled Bible study. And we started going to a Bible study, and then it was a class with Pastor Clocker. And he got a big group together, and then he wanted you to break off in different groups of your own so that you could draw more people into it. And when I first went, I thought, yeah, right, there's never going to get me to do that. But we did. We ended up having our own Bible study at the house for a number of years. But it got me into reading the Bible. And I was raised in a church. I was raised to go to church every Sunday. But it wasn't instilled in my heart like it came about here. So yes, the Bible study, getting involved in actually reading the Bible and understanding it more. You learn so much. Mm-hmm. Even though you've read it over and over again, every time I read a passage, I get something different out of it. It's been tremendous. I read my Bible every day.
In 1994, Sally Campion, Ann Spinneweber, Pastor and Gwen Clocker all attended training in Houston for starting and developing small groups. That year, 3 groups started, with 3 more rising up over the next 2 years. By the mid-90s, 50 to 60 people from our congregation were meeting regularly in homes to study God's Word, a practice that continues in our church today. Galilee has 7 adult Bible studies now that meet in our church, online, and in people's homes. The Women's Zoom study is actually a continuation of one of the original groups birthed out in the 90s. Praise be to God for His faithfulness with Bible study.